The process of creating a budget for state government entered a new phase this week, with bills appearing in committee and on the House floor to raise revenues. 5 bills made it through a House committee, but only 3 have made it to the House floor so far. Next week, a number of proposals are expected that are designed to bring in the needed money to fill the state's billion-dollar budget hole.
Bills that increase fees or eliminate tax credits are the low-hanging fruit at the state capitol, even though that was a struggle for the House on 3 such bills to add an estimated $19.8 million to next year's budget. 2 other revenue bills that did make it out of the House committee have yet to appear on the floor. House Bill 2346 by Representative Kevin West of Oklahoma City would eliminate a long-standing tax break to middlemen in the gasoline and diesel fuel business.
They're getting $6 million from the state of Oklahoma and not having to do anything for that. And this is probably something that should have been taken care of when we did the compact nearly 20 years ago.
The other would double the permits on vending machines from the current $75 per machine to $150 per machine. Representative Jason Murphy says back in 2010, the legislature discovered what a bad idea that was.
When those vending machine operators realized they were going to come and have this 300% increase on their fees, they found their marginally producing units and they pulled them.
And that response to the change from the industry ended up costing state government.
They spiked it by 300%, trying to get $8 million. They got 2.1. Incredible. The next year they came back in 2011, Representative Ortega offered a bill, cut it from 150 to back to 75. And their revenues returned to about the $4 million level.
Representative Murphy, who is a member of the House Appropriations and Budget Committee, is critical of the way the legislature has been writing budgets in recent years.
It's debt spending, it's entitlement spending, it's spending that has pushed total state spend up close to $19 billion, ever increasing. The problem is a spending one, it's not a problem of revenue.
The budget deficit is now estimated to be over $1 billion, and the issue of just where the problem is still can't be agreed upon. Is there too much spending or not enough revenue? A coalition of more than 20 organizations under the name Save Our State believes it's a revenue problem. Amber England is executive director of Stand for Children.
It's a 3-year plan. It gets away from budget gimmicks and special interest giveaways to ensure that we're not betting away the future of our state, of our children.
Their plan includes several points: end special interest tax giveaways, stop out-of-state tax shelters, increase gasoline taxes, increase gross production taxes, roll back income tax cuts, and increase sales taxes on certain services. It's a plan that SOS says takes from proposals from the Democrats, the Republicans, and the governor. David Blatt, a member of the SOS group, is also executive director of the Oklahoma Policy Institute.
There's enough money generated by this budget to avoid further cuts and invest in some key priorities.
And while disagreement remains on the cause of the budget crisis, David Blatt believes the realization that we're in a real crisis may be what breaks the logjam on ideas to fix it.
I think all legislators recognize 2 things. One is we can't continue doing what we've been doing. And I don't think there's a single legislator in this building who wants to be facing the same crisis next year and the year after and the year after that.
The 3 bills that did win House approval would raise revenues by just under $20 million. One gives the Tax Commission the power to collect taxes from businesses or shut them down. Another reduces the cap on the movie tax rebate by $1 million. And the third removes the sales tax exemption from professional sporting events like Thunder tickets. But there was one other bill that cleared the House that may be a signal minds are beginning to change. Opponents of the automatic trigger for lowering the state's income tax rate have tried before to kill it but never got close. This year, however, it was a prominent member of the Republican Party, Representative Earl Sears of Bartlesville, that ran just such a bill, and it passed by a wide margin. That was after a lot of heated political debate from both sides of the aisle, something Representative Sears apologized for and then took part in himself.
Every time we've lowered the tax rate, more monies has come into the state of Oklahoma, into the coffers. That's just a fact.
According to the Oklahoma Policy Institute, it also now costs state government $1 billion a year in lost tax revenues. But Representative Sears says
This rhetoric that we've just crashed, it's our policy and we're backing away from it. Good tax policy and reducing that at all times is good policy. Right now, we need to pull this income tax cut back and live to fight another day.
The bill now goes to the Senate along with the 3 other revenue bills. The plan now appears to be to run first the bills that will require only a 51-vote majority for passage, and then a week or so later, those measures that will be very difficult to pass because it takes a super majority. One thing is for sure, without passage of some major revenue measures this year, more large cuts are coming for state agencies.